winning spree. Knocking out our adversary toe to toe like I'm my league. Cause I'm a youngin' and I'm getting it. Youngin' and I'm getting it. I'm a youngin' and I'm getting it. The young one on a mission. I'm a youngin' and I'm getting it. Youngin' and I'm getting it. Youngin' and I'm getting it. Y'all better pay attention. I'm a youngin' and I'm getting it. Youngin' and I'm getting it. I'm a youngin' and I'm getting it.
Welcome to Mech Madness Live 2020, the first
of many.
We are Max on Deck. I am Osiris.
And I am Chewy. We will be starting the Mech Madness live show, Mech Madness 2020 live show. So thank you for joining us. Thank you to Dixie for putting all of this together. And why don't we get started?
Yeah, so first up, we have a little bit of an intro that was put together that kind of explains a little bit of what's going on over the next couple weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
6 weeks. It'll be a fun 6 weeks.
Hold up, I guess you didn't know that I'm a different breed. Yes, indeed. Got the king, he and me, taking off high speed with the key. I can be anything I wanna be. I'm too hot for you, dog. You can call me Sneaky Pete. Throwing shade at your boy. I'ma cut down your tree. Matter of fact, I'ma leave it just so I can get a breeze. This too easy. I got Christ, and I know that he got me. Undefeated in the game. Yeah, we on a winning spree. Knocking out our adversary toe to toe like I'm my league. Cause I'm a youngin' and I'm getting it.
So, Mech Madness.
I'm still
Excited?
blown away by the videos, man. Dixie, quick, before anything, this guy and Dixie, I just hyped it up. So all the work you see, this guy. So thank you. Look at that. And now look at this. Beautiful. You get to look at me. I wore red just for Dixie, you know.
Can we talk a little bit about this, Chewy? Who are you wearing?
Who am I wearing? I'm wearing Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren? All right.
Ralph Lauren.
We'll float on over my way. Who am I wearing? I don't know.
1970s.
1970s
Jacket.
yeah, 1970s jacket. Yeah. So, welcome to the show.
It's a fun one. So if you guys don't know, obviously the video explained it, but Mech Madness, it's a take on March Madness. March Madness is where they take 64 teams. That's a little bit more, but basically 64 teams, play them against each other for one champion at the very end of the season. It's an amazing experience to watch if you're a sports fan. And last year was the first year that Dixie Mech did this. And so last year we took keyboards and key sets, put them against each other, and basically an onslaught of what was the best. And now this year we're doing the same thing, adding some desk mats to the pile of awesomeness. If you just want to look at the growth of this community, the amount of repeats from last year to this year is so minimal, and it's incredible. This community has grown so much, and the amount of designers of keycaps and designer of boards, it's really breathtaking.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And really over the next 6 weeks, we are going to be going through really what happens every week. We're going to go through some of our favorite matchups, some of the things that we are excited to see happen in the competition. We're going to go through some upsets, some complete and utter dominations.
I'm excited for some dominations.
Yeah.
There's going to be, I'm excited for the upset domination.
Yes, the upset domination might be interesting if that ever happens. But yeah, so we're going to be kind of rolling through that. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about the competition, how it works. We are in the bracket phase currently. You have about a day and a half, or
if that. Get them in tonight after the show, during the show. By all means, ask questions in the chat. We'll go through prizes here shortly, because it is not just some fun game you get to get bragging rights. There are lots of things at stake, lots of awesome prizes by some awesome sponsors of this. You can actually see sponsors right here. But yeah, it's a really, really awesome competition. I'm excited. So why don't we dig into how to vote and how to be a part of this awesome competition?
Yeah. So really the first thing is getting your brackets in. So if you go to Mech Madness 2020.com, correct?
2020.
MechMadness2020.com.
You can also hit !MM20 in our chat, and it'll take you right there.
Absolutely. And you'll be taken to a wonderful, beautiful website that Dixie has put together, as well as it'll have a link to put in your brackets. You can view all of the different submissions from designs, as well as take a look at everything that's there to offer on the website as far as information about the competition.
Yeah, and so the best way to do that is, you can kind of approach it two different ways. You can go by your favorites, or you can go by what you think might win. Be careful, because sometimes your favorite might not match up with what actually winds up winning. As most people know by now, GMK Camping, I'm a diehard fan. GMK Camping did not go very far, and I did not win anything last year. So
tough.
Hard rip on that one. But anyway, so we'll dive deep. We'll dive deep into how to vote. So you pull out your phone.
There you go.
Pull out your phone. You open up your phone. You enter in your little passcode. You find the Instagram logo. And up here in the little top, look at all that fun stuff. Up here on the top, there will be a story that you click, and it'll have the Dixie logo on it. So just be on the lookout. It's a bright red Dixie logo. You can't miss it. And you tap that, and it will pull up a screen, and it will show you a picture of each of what is voting at the time. So whether it's a keyboard, a key set, or a desk mat, and you simply vote which one you like more. It's that easy, and you actually can kind of follow you can follow what's potentially winning or losing. Just know that you cannot go back and vote again. So make sure that you don't maybe have an accidental misclick, because some literally come down to the last vote, as it did last year.
Yeah, we had quite a few. There were a couple that were decided. There was one that I think that was actually perfect.
An actual tie.
It was an actual perfect tie. Went into an overtime round, which is possible. But we do have measures in place to make sure that those ties are dealt with.
Very appropriate.
But after that, Chewy, go ahead and let's talk about some prizes, because you can win some pretty crazy things.
Well, first off, for those who have not seen, my apologies, I'm going to open up this, because I do not want to leave out any of these prizes. So you can check this if you do ! MM2020. You can check out the prizes. But for the key set prizes, we'll go through those. So what you get, if you have seen Linus Tech Tips, which they're an amazing sponsor, be sure to check that out. They got a Dixie Bauer, the 65% amazing, awesome keyboard that Dixie made, and with all custom brass keycaps. And that's yours if you win it.
Yeah, and
totally free.
It's a pretty fancy looking board and set, and there's quite a bit of talk about the Bauer right now. It is considered to be one of the top tier
65%.
Yeah, I think there's people who are saying that it's their favorite board ever. So
it might even get me to go to a 65%. Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
But if you get second place, you will win a set of GMK Oblivion V2, a Savage 65, and a matching Rama Oblivion cap. You get yourself a whole setup. All you got to provide is switches and
stabs.
Switches and stabs, and you're set. So definitely get those brackets filled out. Chewy, what's going on for the third place winner?
Third place looks like we have a couple different. Looks like we have a third place is going to be an MT3. I'm gonna try and say this, and I'm sorry. Susawatari keycap set. And we'll just kind of rattle these next off because there's a lot. It goes all the way down to 8th place. So 4th place, SA Lime, which is actually the keycap set that got me into the hobby.
Ooh, and then you've got DSS. Tekla? DSS Tekla, Infinity Hive for 6th place, and that's the mega set, so it's literally every key that you would ever need to ever have.
Yep. And then 7th place, an Infinity Bread keycap set, so a black and red set by Infinity by the Key Company. And 8th place, a Rama Hamon egg cap. It can kind of go with anything. That's just a fun little.
Yeah. And then, of course, for 9 and 10, our boy, our friend,
Zap
the
cables.
one and only Zap Cable.
Makes some of the best cables. The best cables.
It really is.
So we're gonna move on to the keyboard bracket prizes.
Let's see let me see what's first here. All right. So first place for this one.
The big one.
A big boy, as some people would call it. Any future key cult, not keycap. Just one keycap. Any future key cult keyboard. Obviously there is some restrictions. It does not include a commissioned board, or something like the Horde and Alliance boards that they had done in the past. But any of their group buys, you get one. So they run number 2, revision 2, early next year, maybe. Who knows? You could get that for free.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
Does not include shipping. So you free, but I'm sorry, $40 for a key. I'd buy a key cult.
I think I'd be okay with $40 key cult.
I think most of us would be okay with a $40 keyboard. Anyway, 2nd place for the keyboard bracket, the Duck Sidewinder with GMK Hamon and a Hamon Rama cap. So once again, you're getting an entire build, caps, board. All you need is switches and stabs. So still just a very, very awesome set of prizes for that 1st and 2nd place.
Yeah, and then going into the 3rd and 4th place, it's still pretty dang good. 3rd place gets an NK65 kit, and 4th place gets a minivan. So if you're into something a little bit smaller, get yourself one of those.
And for you ortho lovers, the Ortho 75 by Canon Keys, or brought to you by Canon Keys, the Ortho 75, a great gift. Or a great kit. Sorry, I was looking at the next one. So if you are into ortho, if you're one of the few and the proud, be sure to check that out. 6th place, Project Keyboard's $100 gift card. That's awesome because if you look at GMK cap sets, that's taking a cap set down to about $15 to $20, or a board down $100. So that's that's going to be just. I mean, who doesn't? That's just free money. So.
Yeah, and then for 7th and 8th place, 7th you get a Rama knob. You have a Satisfaction 75 or anything that has a knob on it or needs a knob, you get one, and it's pretty freaking cool. And not a lot of people have them, so let's do it. And then 8th place gets you a Rama X Hamon egg keycap. Right? Everyone likes eggs.
Who doesn't like a solid egg? And then 9th and 10th place again with the Zap cables, who make the best cable.
Keyboard's definitely hot. That is some hot stuff.
So let's get into the desk mat. Some people might think this might be less important, but you still get an amazing board.
I feel like this one is going to be the hardest to actually get. This is the one that has the most variance to me.
Yeah, so you win a TGR Alice Mech Madness 2020 edition. So the Alice won last year. You get a TGR Alice if you win. We've seen this layout kind of everywhere. But you get where it all started. Well, not all completely started, but where the hype for this layout started with TGR. This will be a one of a kind, I believe. So yeah, custom name on the weight.
Definitely a one-off.
Really awesome.
You get your name on it, so that's pretty crazy. And then for second place, get yourself a Molly. We're good old friends over at the Key Company. I know our boy Blind Assassin has some things to do with this guy. Molly, it's a beautiful board. It's a big board. It uses full numpad or I guess not full numpad, but uses a numpad and everything. So definitely a fun one. Very interesting and a really cool weight design on the bottom.
Very, very awesome weight. Third and fourth place, you'll get a DSA Hannah keycap set for third place, an Infinity Sanctuary keycap set for fourth place. Those great sets. I know Sanctuary is one that a lot of people have been waiting for quite some time. DSA Hannah, another very classic colorway. So be sure to look out for that.
Yeah, and then for fifth and sixth place, get yourself finicky white on black for fifth and black on white for sixth. Thanks to the Key Company. Pretty classic sets. Can't go wrong. They look great on everything. You need to have that in your arsenal. Trust me.
Seventh and eighth place, you get some Rama gear. Seventh place, a Rama Works team shirt. Eighth place, a Rama Works team cap. And for ninth and 10th, you guessed it.
Good old buddy from Zap.
Our good old friends from Zap Cables.
Ooh.
Giving out some awesome Zap cables. So that is the prizes. We are thousands and thousands of.
Yeah, if you think about it, like even just if you get one of those, I mean, there's no hurt in just trying, just filling out a bracket, right?
Just fill it out, and who knows? I know one of the winners last year just filled it out, kind of forgot about it. Wound up winning.
Yeah. I think that was our buddy Jack Statics.
Jack Statics.
Didn't even know. He got an email from Dixie. Didn't follow it at all. Got an email from Dixie and was like, hey, you won. I need your address.
But yeah, I mean, Key Colt, any of those, you get so think about top three. You get a Bauer, a Key Colt, or a TGR. Some of the top boards right now that are out.
Yeah.
And that's just sent to you.
Just, hey, here you go. It's yours now.
I would be stunned, shocked. It would be crazy. Key Colt for shipping. So, but yeah, make sure, like I said, just get in, fill out your brackets. There is no harm. At the end of it doesn't matter if you get first place or 10th place or even 100th place. You were a part of it. It's a fun little journey to go on with this community. And any of those prizes, who doesn't like free stuff? Who doesn't like free stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse. It's free. You might as well at least try. But yeah, so I think it's about time that we kind of talk about the brackets themselves. Oh, and there is one last prize that I think we forgot to talk about. Actually, two.
My apologies.
So if you get a perfect bracket, 100% perfect, you get yourself a 1-of-1 polycarbonate Bauer.
You can say I am the only one that polycarbonate.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And then you also get, if you are the longest with a perfect bracket, so say you go all the way to maybe the Elite 8 with perfect bracket, and then no one else gets further than you, you get yourself a free build service from our boy Teha Types, Mr. Nathan Kim himself. The man, the myth, the beast.
Who wouldn't want to have? What if you could win the Key Colt?
Yeah, you could win the Key Colt.
Send it right to him and boom, have him build it.
You could get that. You could get that Alice. Get him to build it. I'm sure he would enjoy showing that off with his fancy setup and everything, and the beautiful aesthetics that he has.
And Teha Types is obviously definitely helped a lot with this.
Mm-hmm.
So big shout out to him as well. So real quick, let's do my apologies. I am pulling something up again Because we're professional. There we go. Let's do a quick run through the sponsors for Mech Madness. So Key Cult providing a board. Thank you very much. Linus Tech Tips providing this bower that they did, and definitely helping. I'm very, very excited, as well as Salvin, who did the brass caps on the bower. So big shout out to those guys. Yeah, and then you have TGR obviously providing the desk mat winner, that TGR Alice that is custom. And then of course Dixie, who's putting this thing together, doing the legwork, making it all happen. And then the Key Dot Company providing a lot of sets, a lot of the Infinity sets there, and some of those prizes. So good stuff. Good shout out. Prime KB, Prime Keyboards, Pimp My Keyboard and Canon Keys. They all are providing some awesome help with prizes. I know they have also been with getting all this put together as well. Yeah, absolutely. And then of course, Drop, Rama, and Zap. Zap, obviously, those cables that you saw. Rama with their different varies, and Drop, they have like everything. So a lot of stuff that they provided, Oblivion, stuff like that. So big shout outs to them. Yeah, so Novel Keys, Tight Beast, and Project Keyboards. Big shout out to them. They provided lots of prizes, lots of gift cards, and other things as well. Just help getting this all put together. So big shout out to them. Yeah, and then the last three, Unikey, aka that's GMK. GMK. That's just GMK. For those who don't know, Unikey is GMK. And then of course Teha Types himself, great dude. And then who maybe the right here, these guys. These we have if you have my timing right. Mech's on deck. There it is. Hey. If you haven't figured out how we have helped, you're looking at it. Yeah, this is it. Him, by the way. Well, no, you're here. I am physically here. Lots of your ideas, but yes, we will be here every Friday at 8 p.m. Going through matchups, and now we're going to kind of get into our brackets. We're going to get into a little bit of a reveal of what we have selected and what we believe. And so if you are, maybe you've waited until now to fill out your brackets. Take some tips. Maybe you didn't know what Mech Madness was this morning, and you're sitting here watching this Twitch stream of two crazy guys in suit jackets with hopefully cool looking stuff and good sounding things. And you want to fill out a bracket and you want to copy us, who knows? I think I named all of my brackets "Don't Copy Me" or "I am the best." But yeah, so let's take a look. What are we looking at first, Chewy? Let's do key sets. Key sets. Okay. Key sets. Okay, let's take a gander. So we'll have this up. You can actually search for these. So I think mine is just Chewy keycap set. Chewy keycap set or keycap bracket. So yeah, mine's "Don't Copy Me." So, but yeah, so make this is mine. This is yours. Mine. All right, you can go through it. There it is. This is mine. So, all right, so I'm gonna kind of zoom in here a little bit so everyone can actually see what's going on. Okay, so not a lot of surprises here as far as what I've got as far as my winner and my finals. I think we're gonna kind of go through these, and we're gonna talk about what we might think that our matchup of the weeks is. Obviously, the first week starting on Sunday, we'll go through these first set of matchups here, and I think there are some good ones, specifically GMK Waves versus EPBT Kuroshiro. It's interesting because I have Waves going very far, but I think it could very much lose in the first round, ruin the bracket from the get-go. Yeah, so kind of going through this, I did kind of follow the wave of what was popular, and didn't necessarily do any like self picks except for maybe taking GMK Olive over SA Bliss. I feel like that might be a rough one, and I think I put Nines pretty far as a personal love for the set.
But my finals is GMK Dracula versus GMK Olivia ++ with Dracula winning it out. So
Dracula's got a lot of hype behind it. Dracula was an amazing set from interest check, design, all the way through group buy. It smashed a lot of records at the time, and it really kind of showed that, you know, at this point, Oblivion was one of the biggest sellers, and this kind of showed that, hey, this is a guy that designed a keycap set that didn't have a big name. He just showed up, did the work, made a great keycap set. So I could totally see this absolutely going through for the victory. So make sure. I did not pick that though.
You did not. Let me get it up, and we can take a look at Chewy's keycap set here.
Yeah, so
give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Let me get it here. But gotta change it over. Oops. Let's go this one. Hey, there we go.
Look at that. Hey, technical difficulties. They happen, but sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. There it is. Look.
This is yours now. It's not
all right. So we'll just quickly go through. I made a lot of some similar picks. I think the first round is going to. I do think matchup of the week. We'll probably talk. I think Waves versus Kuroshiro is the matchup of the week.
I think that's the one that I sat there and thought about a lot. I think there's a lot of these are kind of like hammers one way. I think we'll see some significant landslides. You know, something like GMK Oblivion V2 versus GMK Matrix 01, which Matrix 01 I feel like is a set that but a lot of people don't even know exists.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Oblivion is going to demolish Matrix. That might be the insane
I don't
domination.
know. It would be a domination. I personally, just looking over, I think the biggest domination, this is absolutely nothing against GMK Denim, but this is going up against Metropolis, which is a very universally loved keycap set. And Denim is very specific. Denim is something that's, you know, that's tailored to a certain person.
Yeah.
Who really likes that. So, I think my biggest upset, you know, the one that I had, probably one of the hardest ones I had was Dual Shot versus Olivia. I think Dual Shot is a great set, and I think would have made it a little further. I did personally pick Olivia ++. I think my upset of the entire bracket is going to be Cafe beating 8008. I think while 8008 is a great set, I believe that the Cafe, we've talked about it before, it's a safe.
That's true.
That's
a
safe
bold
set
move.
And
That's
so I picked Cafe. I actually have Cafe going all the way. I think the fact that it is a safe set, it is of the four that I picked in my top four. I have GMK Dracula versus Oblivion. I have Cafe versus Olivia. And Cafe is the only one that has white alphas. And I think
over here, what's your Oblivion V2 versus Cafe? Ooh.
Yep, I think Oblivion will win because it's kind of what people know. It's a very popular set from the past. But I think we're going to see the standard keycap set of white alphas, dark mods.
I think it's going to take it. Interesting.
Or I could be completely wrong and Cafe could lose in the first round. Who knows? That's the fun of this, is your bracket might be done for in the first week.
Yeah, I think of the matchups that are next week, what would you say has the highest potential to be a upset?
An upset? I honestly,
I don't think there's anyone. I don't think there's necessarily anything that's going to be crazy. I think there are some that will be close. Like you look at a matchup like Violet on Cream versus GMK Coral. That one might be close, just because when you put just a picture of the setup there, some people might some people might choose the lighter, the pink and the blue of coral. And then Night Runner versus SA DCS Yuri. That will be an interesting one.
That will be interesting because Yuri is definitely an older set that a lot of people that were in the community started in the community a few years ago. Yuri was a great set, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. Kind of against an up and coming, a little bit.
I know the upset that we both picked. The upset of this week, which I think will 100% happen. GMK Shoko over SA Laser.
Yes, I think Shoko. I have Shoko going actually quite far,
and I think that if you've been in the community for a long time, not a long time, really just a year, right? Shoko ran late last year into early 2019, or late 2018 into early 2019. Didn't sell a ton of kits, came out, and then everyone and their mother wanted that set. It was a beautiful set, and SA Laser sold a lot of kits, and if you are not familiar with how these brackets were set up, they were done based on how many base kits were sold. So SA Laser is a very high seed, and Shoko is a very low seed because of that. And I think Shoko's going to dominate that matchup.
Yeah.
Like, I think that will be a crazy upset in terms of, I think it's like 7 versus 50 something. Yeah, 7 versus 50.
It's very low. I think another interesting matchup I'm excited to see is Peaches and Cream versus Alter. You have two very different sets. They're designed for very different likings. You have a Sub Legends set, very dark colorway, versus Peaches and Cream. Both amazing sets. Both could go very deep into the tournament, but that one's a tough one. I think that was another one that I had a little bit of a hard time going with. I think I eventually went with Alter because people do like their Sub Legends, and Peaches and Cream can be a bit might not scratch that itch for everybody.
That's definitely a good one. That's definitely good. I think those things too. If we had to have a matchup of the week, would you still put it on Waves versus Kuroshiro?
Hands down.
Hands down, Waves.
Hands down.
I think I think Waves is a set because it had the issue with the escape key, with that C trying to make its way up to the heavens.
It was trying to escape.
Yeah, it was doing what it was told to. It was told to escape, and it was trying to get out. But I don't know if that'll hurt it. It's a pretty set. It had a lot of hype going into it. Sold really well.
Very well.
Was Cannon Key's first set. I have it. I love it. I think it'll win. But Kuroshiro also is beautiful. So I think that would probably be our matchup of the week, and then our upset alerts of the week. Definitely going to be GMK Shoko,
hands down.
Yeah,
Shoko. I think while SA Laser is still a solid set, I think Shoko is just going to wipe the floor.
Yeah, and then I agree with you. The Peaches and Cream, that's going to be like kind of the one to watch, because I feel like that's going to be big based on. I think some of the pictures that are used will go into play.
Yeah. That's kind of its own thought. We talked about when all of this was brought out, we probably started talking about this at least as a bigger group in November of doing this, how to set it up fairly. Key sets, it was a lot easier because you just go by numbers. A lot of those numbers are public. But it does go, well, what about pictures? If you put a keycap set on a board that's really hyped, then what happens? Well, I like that because I like it on that board. And so, you just kind of have to, my best advice for voting, if you want to vote, and what my opinion is the best way to vote, is try to avoid looking at what's going on in the picture and try and know that you're voting for the cap set. And just because one picture is there does not dictate what that set is across the board. And same for boards. If it's a board that has a great keycap set on it, don't vote for the keycap set. Vote for the board.
Very true. Wise words. from the main man, Chewy.
So I apologize. We are trying to read chat. It is tiny. So we have it. We will have a more, next week we're going to be very busy talking. With lots of matchups to talk
Lots
about.
of matchups. It's going to be,
It'll be a fun time.
32 matchups. What is that? What is 32? 96?
Yes.
That's math. Math, chat. Math. 96.
Quick maths.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Quick maths. So, but yeah, I can't wait. This was a huge, this was in March of last year. Mech's on Deck hadn't even released its first video yet. And I was in the process of moving, and I remember like during the move, during those days, I would make sure to get my phone out to vote all the time. And we were still having conversations about starting Mech's on Deck and how to get all that set up. And so, but it was just, it's something fun to do. And, a lot of people, you work, I work, we all, not all of us, but a lot of us work. So a lot of us, it's something fun to look forward to. You're end of the day, you get home, and who doesn't like voting and seeing numbers? I don't think I'm the only person that loves watching competition happen at fingertips.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, it's fun to be able to take a little break at work and go through and just kind of, so do all the matchups for the day, or maybe do them throughout the day. I know they get released periodically throughout the day, but it's a fun little break in your day, and it's a fun way to kind of get involved. And it's really cool to see the community kind of come together for something like this. So definitely appreciate it. But I think that kind of wraps up keycap sets.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go on over to keyboards, and let me pull up here. Let's go yours first on this one.
Sounds good.
Let's see what Chewy was thinking. Let's head on over to the weatherman, as I like to call it.
Here it is. I had the hardest time on this one, and I think the closest matchup and the most difficult, and I say all this, it's probably going to be a blowout. But I personally believe matchup of the entire shebang, the entire tournament is in this one, because they're both from Raw. So real quick, just some first round notable mentions. I think I do have the number one Rev 1 beating the Cypher. I think the Cypher could have a shot. It's a unique layout, and people have seen the number one. That's not to say that the Key Cult's not a great board, but that Cypher layout's very unique, and it's very awesome.
I think that's another one that plays into a picture, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you've got, obviously a Key Cult, if it doesn't show the bottom, it might, some people may not. Well, I guess it'll be marked, so people will know it's a Key Cult. But that Cypher, you look at it, maybe someone pulls up that matchup and they see the number one and the Cypher, and they go check out the thread about the Cypher, mm-hmm. and they learn people loved it. It was a great board. One of our favorite boards from the NorCal.
Yeah, I was gonna say Starstone. He had a Cypher there, and I was in love with it. Looked great, felt great. Just an overall great board. A very tough matchup. The very top. And I actually didn't pick the Fiel. Yeah, and it hurt my soul. I can't tell you how hard that was. That I was like, I love it, but let's be honest, all right? If we're looking at fancy photos, you've got a lot of people that don't know much about these boards. But if you were looking at fancy photos up there, it's the Fiel. It's the work. It's the everyman's board. It's not there for thrills. It's there for sound. It's got some cool designs to it, but all in all, it's basic.
It is literally the most basic. Not the most basic.
It's not the most basic,
but it is a basic. It is not trying to be fancy.
Oh.
It is trying to be as good as possible. It's trying to be the peak performance. It's the minimalist option, mm-hmm. right? It's the best without doing a ton extra.
Exactly. And I've talked about this because I remember when I set my plans up for the Fiel, and it's got Modern Dolch on it. And then I forgot, someone on our Discord said that's the pumpkin spice latte of keyboards. It's Modern Dolch, round 1 gray, round 4 Fiel. I mean, and I love it. It's never going to change. So that was a tough one. I do have the Chimera beating it and actually going all the way to the Kepler FC 65. But I do think it pained me to vote for something 65%.
Yeah, how does that feel? So Chewy, let's break down your final 4. So you got the Kepler FC 65, the Jane V2 CE. That's your first matchup. Iron 165 SE and Satisfaction 75. So you've got 2 65s, which you are a firm non-believer in the way of the 65.
Yes.
So that's interesting. And then you have a 75, which is a 65 plus F-row.
But I like 75.
True, you do. And then, of course, the Jane V2 CE.
The Jane V2 CE, I'm looking through all of these, and I just think that it has a pretty, in my opinion, a relatively easy route there. Not to say anything bad about the other boards, but it's got TGR on it. It's a tough one.
It's true.
I think the two toughest matchups I had was the Iron 165 versus Satisfaction 75, because the winner of that one to me was going to win the tournament. But I picked Satisfaction 75 because it is out. Not to say the Iron 165 is not going to be amazing, but it's out. People are already hyped on it. People are loving it. It's got the knob. It's got the screen. It's got great anodization. People are going to love it. So my pick, Mech Madness 2020 for boards, Satisfaction 75. I think the toughest one of all was the Rama U80 versus the Rama M60.
Yeah, that's pretty early too. I noticed that
Second
yesterday.
round. And I left the entire bracket open because of that.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting because you have a sequence 2, right? Mm-hmm. So you have it's basically the same thing, right? They
re-released it with a couple different updates and a couple different more options.
And the M60 was a great board and it did really well last year. The U80 was a brand new offering. So does that beautiful port win, or does the milk?
And I was sitting there going, okay, port versus milk. Do you want wine or milk?
I would want wine above the age of
12.
I was gonna say like 3.
I love a tall glass of milk.
I don't.
And sorry, Mech Merlin, I'm not a fan of ports, but I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I picked the U80.
You did.
Because it's new.
You did pick the U80. Again, his Jane V2 CE versus Satisfaction 75 final, and then Satisfaction 75 winning. That's definitely an interesting winner, in my opinion. So, yeah, definitely a
TMO over Sirius. I think that was one where I was like, you know what, I'm going with my boy Sirius, but I'm pretty sure either one would have lost in the next. Let's go on to your bracket.
Yeah, I'm getting it all pulled up here. Get this all taken care of. But yeah, that is an interesting one because I think I vary pretty heavily there. So let me get mine.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Osiris voted the Sirius the board of last year. So
yeah,
let's see how it was voted. I do kind of want to make a bracket of what I would like, what my personal beliefs are.
What your personal would be.
We might release that. Maybe we do that on an episode. Maybe we do a quick recording of that. But thoughts on Satisfaction 75? I mean, those top boards right now are just fantastic. So let's, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the chat. I can kind of read chat. If you agree, disagree, Satisfaction 75. I don't think it's going to make the final 4. I don't see Satisfaction 75 not reaching the top final 4.
Well, let's take a look because mine is very different. Okay, so I've got an interesting change very similar, but very different at the same time. So let me kind of get in here. So I think you had, we both went for Chimera. Same thing. Got it all the way to the FC65, and then it just lost. That forged composite.
The Kepler it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the forged composite Kepler. You have the number one Rev 1 losing pretty early. And
to the HBCP?
Yeah, you have it using, I think, to the HBCP. I have the number one Rev 1 going very far and then losing to the Kepler FC65. I think I also have the Lin Montage making it pretty far. I know that's that's been a popular board. And then it gets taken down by the Jane V2 CE. Hands down.
So I want to answer a quick question for Pluto. I believe both of us, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe both of us picked heavily of what we thought would win, not what we want to win.
Right. That is.
There are a couple that we may have, early rounds. I think there might be some, but because you don't have to fill out the first. I didn't really fill out first round. I kind of picked a lot of my winners of what's going to go far. And when you see, two boards going up against like a number 2.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, it doesn't matter really. I mean, at one point, yes, might matter in the winnings, but at the end of the day, because by the way, you get points based on what round you get correct. So you can kind of meh your way through the first round, but if you get the final 4 and then the final 2 and last one, you get a lot of points. Yeah. So it might not matter.
Yeah. So, and I definitely did what I think was going to win because I thought I picked Sirius. And I remember when I was doing this, I had a long and hard dilemma of whether or not to put Sirius because I love that board so much. But the TMO 50 is
hype.
It's hot. It's hype. It's visually more unique in the layout. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say it's a more unique board overall, just because the Sirius is Palm. It kind of did something very different, did something new. Fantastic board, succeeded on all counts in my opinion. Definitely recommend if you're looking to get one.
I'm definitely going to be looking for one. That's going to be like at the end we've talked about, we both kind of want to own boards in a bunch of different layouts, and I think that's the one that might make me go below a 60%. Another
one that I have in here that could be a dark horse, and I don't know if this will be weighted. This is weighted based off of I think the people in the community that are in it a ton and maybe know what this board is. Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be some people who are going to be voting that are maybe seeing some boards for the first time. I mean, hell, looking at this, I saw some boards for the first time.
Yeah.
So, but the J80 round 2 was a board that people have been ranting and raving about since it came out.
Fantastic board. I was lucky enough to build one past December. Fantastic board. Sounds great. Super fun build. Very unique board and just looks fantastic. Once again, Functional saying that in the chat a bunch. Pictures are going to mean it.
Yeah, and I think this is it's a vintage looking board, so I think that might help it, but it also might hurt it. Who knows?
People like modern.
But I actually have that going all the way to the Elite 8 and losing to the Iron 165 SE. And then, unfortunately, for our main man, Dixie, the Bauer does lose out to the number 2 Rev 1. And then we get to my final 4, which is a little bit different. I have Kepler FC65, Jane V2 CE, Iron 165 SC, and the number 2 Revision 1. And then my finals, Jane V2 CE, number 2 Rev 1. So the battle of the 2 TKLs. And what did I pick? I think I went with...
I'm having a guess that's the key call.
I went with the number 2 Rev 1, which may
Sounds about right.
Here on Mechs on Deck, we are, we enjoy some key booty, some hashtag
key butts.
Key butts. I think the number 2 Revision 1 may have the prettiest behind in all of keyboards.
It's up there. It is definitely very pretty. I think It's a great board if you know what it is. So I there's something to say about design that I don't, not to say that people are looking over this, but if you spend like 3 or 4 minutes really thinking about what this board is and how it was designed, it's something that probably gets overlooked in quick passes. A lot of people see a high number and they see a TKL and they go, why? I could get this. But if you really look at the design and how it's built, I suggest maybe go checking out a build video. Teja Types has built many of them. So go check those out because it's a fantastic board. It's a fantastic board. The reason I did not vote for them is I think we might see a little rebellion against some of the brands and boards that won or did really well last year. And I think we might, that's where my last, my kind of top Elite 8 on, I was like, I could see the community being like, I don't want Olivia to win. I don't want a TGR to win. I don't want Keycult to go very far. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things like my top 8, Kepler, FC65, number 1 Rev 1, Lynn Montage, Jane V2 CE, J80 round 2, Iron 165 SE, Bauer, and then number 2 Rev 1. There's a very significant portion of TKLs in there. I think that's because a lot of them kind of I think there's some matchups that I'm like, man, I really don't see this making it very far.
It is very interesting to see that TKLs and 65% are everywhere.
They are. It's funny because you and I have always, we would talk about how we need more 65s last year. We got a ton of 65s. Got a good 75 this past year. The Satisfaction
75. And then TX 75, we'll talk about the plate another time.
The
I do
V2,
enjoy it. The E7's coming out 75%. I think last year was TKLs and 65%. I think this year is going to be 75. But the success of the Satisfaction 75, I think we're going to see more 75% boards, and more than most.
Yeah,
I believe 60%. While they're great, I don't see a lot of people going for them as much because it's hard. It's already hard to design a rectangle.
Yeah,
and there's not a lot of design space there. So some people might kind of go, well, there's already a lot of options. So what I'd love to see is more 60% being put into a ready to buy or an in stock item. So
yeah, and I think we're on our way. It's happening. It's getting close. We'll see. But looking at this, what are some matchups that you think could be considered our, maybe some matchups of the week?
Matchups of the week. I need to reopen my sheet.
No worries. I'm looking at one right here. I'm kind of gandering at it, and that's the E7 V1 versus the J80 round 2. I'm kind of thinking more, about what Functional was saying about how pictures are everything. That E7 V1 is a beautiful board.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be one of those things. You like a vintage style? Do you want yourself something that's going to look a little bit old school? Or do you want something that's flashy? It's got the RGBs.
It does. People like RGB.
Granted,
there's a reason that RGB's around, but people like RGB.
True.
There are a lot of, I think the vocal majority do not. But I think there are a lot of people that are there are plenty of people in this hobby who don't say a word to anyone. They are in Discords for information purposes only, and are on Geek Hack and on subreddit and have crazy keyboard collections, and you would never even know.
Yeah, and then there's one that's not too far down from it. The Thermal versus the U80A.
That's a tough one.
And they're not both by Rama, technically, but the Thermal is that first board through the Foundry program that Rama put together. So interesting. Thermal was a little bit more of a daring board, I would say. The U80A had some different interesting things with it, with the mute plate and stuff like that. But I definitely
I think the reason I think the U80 will win, one's the TK. that's scary. So I'm not used to hearing notifications. If you see my build streams before, I'm not used to hearing notifications. So I'll even get started on there, and then that came through speakers like in the back of the room.
You know what?
Literally scared me. I think the TKL layout's going to win, and I think while the thermal is an awesome board, it's not for everyone. It's a harsh design, and I think that that's why things are in group buy, because you don't have to buy it. But when it comes to having to pick, you're going to pick the safe option.
Yeah, definitely. I
think matchup of the week. We've already talked about it. The TMO 50 V2 versus the Sirius.
That's gonna be rough. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. We'll see. We'll see how that one goes. I think that will be matchup of the week. There's a lot in the key sets or the keyboards. Sorry, there's a lot of really good matchups because you don't have that huge disparity between a set that barely hit MOQ or had to be bought out and a set like, Olivia Plus that sold 5,000 base kits. I think you're right about the Satisfaction 75. Has a lot of hype right now. I think that will do well. I think that might dominate. What do you think could be an upset?
So that's a different story. I think, and by the way, with keyboards, just a quick mention, the keyboards were random.
Yeah, they were random.
There wasn't really a way. You can't judge the Rama U80, which was an open group buy. You can't take those numbers versus a key colt, which is capped at 40 or 50.
Yeah.
You can't take those two and run them against each other by numbers, because these smaller run boards are not going to be crazy. Then you might have some intense seating that might not be favorable. I think upsets, I'm kind of looking, I could see, I'm just basing this off of the first round.
Yeah. Upsets for this next week, the first week of and I see one that I think could be an upset in my opinion. That would be the M65B versus the Matrix 1.2 OG. Matrix boards, they look the part in terms of they have an interesting and cool aesthetic to them. That's one that could have a really cool picture that makes that board look unique. The M65B, the M65A was a board that was massive, not only in sales, but just I feel like it was a little bit of a turning point almost in the community. It really brought Rama into the mainstream as far as a keyboard designer. So I definitely think that'll be an interesting one. I think those are both really strong boards, but I do think the M65B will edge that out, but I think the Matrix could upset.
Yeah. My upset is probably gonna upset some people. I could legitimately see the Clippa taking down the Sigma 75 or Singa 75.
Yeah, the Singa V3.
Singa V3. Why?
Yeah.
Why? One, this is a huge one for pictures.
Very true.
If they choose a polycarb, people might not like polycarb. This is a 75% layout that not a lot of people like. And the Clippa is the basic keyboard. We talked about the Fiel being basic. This is the most minimalistic design, and people like minimal. People love minimal. So, in my opinion, I could see, now, do I think it's going to happen? I don't really think so. I think the Singa V3 is going to win. But I could see the Clippa really jacking up a few people's brackets.
Yeah, and looking at it here, what's one that we both have very far, the Iron 165 SE. There's a chance that the NK65 could win just because of how many people purchased it and love it, right? Like that's a board that people currently have. And that's the other thing is the boards that people have, the same thing with key sets, the boards that people get right now that they just got, like the Satisfaction 75 that's on it this hot streak. Those boards, those key sets could make some upsets that maybe people weren't expecting. I don't know if that'll happen, but that is a definitely a possibility that would really royally screw both of our brackets.
Exactly. Yes. So and just, once again, when I'm saying voting, you can choose to kind of vote with your heart, vote with what you think. Hype is a big deal. Someone mentioned earlier, vote like a hype beast. Hype is a big deal. Hype boards right now, Satisfaction 75. The HBCP is getting a lot of hype. The Austin is getting a lot of hype right now. That's a tough matchup.
Yeah, HBCP
Austin versus HBCP.
Austin.
I think the HBCP, because it's been around longer. I hated voting against my homie Drifting Bunnies.
Yeah.
I hated voting against the Austin, which I own and love. But the HBCP has a lot of hype. That's going to be another matchup that I watch very close.
And I think if we look at the pictures, the picture that gets I didn't look at that picture that he used for it, but if he used the one that looks like a Game Boy with DMG on it, that could be hot.
Very hot. Very spicy, as we like.
Could be hot. So yeah, I think what's a board that's going to completely and utterly dominate another board in that first round?
Where was it? I think the Bauer is going to destroy the Square 80.
Really?
I think the Square 80 is fine, but it was kind of a quiet group buy.
It was.
It has some harsh against other TKLs. It's got some designs that I would consider harsh. When I say harsh, I don't mean bad. I mean that some people it might be it's more intense. It's more there's more stuff going on, which is going to start turning people away from it. So while some people might love it, I honestly just see the Bauer doing fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. One that I think will be a landslide that maybe people aren't necessarily looking at. I know that there's some issues around people getting their boards for this, but the IDB 60 versus the Fusion 60. Fusion 60 was a really, really small buy that was run through KBD fans somehow, but it was very limited. It wasn't an open KBD fans buy.
It was first come, first served to 50.
Yeah, really low, especially for KBD fans, right? That's kind of normal for a lot of other people, but for KBD fans, that's fairly unusual. IDB 60 sold quite a few boards. I think that'll be a landslide. And then M60A sequence 2 versus the 40%. Let me zoom in on the name of it. It's how the Pank 40.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah, that's going to be like you're going to have the 40s people that vote for the 40.
The 40 people that vote for the 40s people.
Yeah.
So the last one, I think the Key 65 does not stand a chance against the Polaris.
Also very true.
I think the Key 65s, it's a fine board, but the Polaris sold 700.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me, there are not many boards that sell 700 in a form factor that everybody likes. That's another one. What picture do you use? You've got HHKB lovers, you've got when keyless lovers, you've got full standard lovers. Those.
Do you have an option to have a picture with all three? Maybe like when keyless is in front and then the other two are behind it, maybe some way showing it off. What would be a dark horse for you?
Dark horse, an upset, if you will. Where there was one that I could see the where was it? My apology. I could see the Cypher.
Cypher being a little
I think
bit of
the
a dark horse?
Cypher could be. That's a good matchup. I could see the Cypher going far. I could see the Cypher. When you look at the matchups, if it beats the Matrix, it could potentially beat the HBCP. I think all roads on that side of the bracket lead to the Kepler 65.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I could see the Cypher really shoving a dagger into a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think mine, we talked about it, the J80 round 2, I have it very far in the competition because I think it's a strong offering and it's a great board. You built one for Drifting Bunnies.
It's fantastic.
And I think that that's a board that could make it pretty far. It's one of the only boards that is in the competition that has that vintage aesthetic.
Yes.
I think that might play a part in it succeeding.
Absolutely. So before we go into the desk mats,
Best hosts of in 2020.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Cartoon 91.
Cartoon
Thank you
91. Thank you
for the however many months that was. Appreciate
3
it.
months.
It was probably a very long time ago.
So
It
thank
was
you.
an hour ago. Thank you to our alert system for being very far behind. Appreciate all the follows.
We apologize. We can this. We are getting lots of follows. Welcome, by the way, to Mech's on Deck. And let's talk giveaways real quick. Let's talk our giveaway real quick. So Dixie has provided us with GMK Modern Dolch Light. It's pretty awesome. Like, let's be honest. It's you and I both got in on it. We're very excited for it. It's one of those sets. To me, this is going to be the set that might win next year. It might unless we see Modern Dolch round 2 this year. It could win. It's going to go very far next year.
Very true.
It's a set that goes on everything. It's a set that really can expand. Take any board. If you're looking for, I'm going to call it the Nathan Kim aesthetic. So that very clean, very modern look. GMK Muted it's a very similar set. That's a very clean, modern look. And when you take a set like that and put it on any board, it's going to make the board fantastic. And you can win one. So we're about to release what you have to type in the chat to be able to enter. Everybody, obviously, completely, you don't have to be a follower. We do appreciate follows, by the way. But you don't have to be a follower or a subscriber to win. This is for anybody. But it'll be exclamation point madness, MADNESS to win. If you have already purchased it, your base kit will be refunded. And I like the amount of madness in the chat. The chat's gone mad.
Is the chat, in fact, madness?
Madness, there's a Sparta. Sorry, I had to. Also, rip GMK Sparta. Please come back to me. So, next thing one thing I will mention. This is going to be going on for a little bit. Make sure those are in. You do not have to enter multiple times, but we will. We're going to go through our desk mat brackets now. That's how you enter. Be sure to enter now for that awesome. Harrison.
Homie, the
homie,
the one, the only, the local homie.
Oh man, I love it. With the 10 gifted subs, thank you. Definitely appreciate it. So we're gonna get into some desk mats. So desk mats are a fun thing that kind of sprung in this hobby and has exploded in this hobby. We got a few cool ones from the get-go.
Yeah.
And
I want to go through mine first
because you probably had a hard time or the easiest time in the world.
So I'm not gonna lie. I looked at 0 pictures. I have no idea what some of them are. I may have just selected based off of what key set they were a part of.
There's no right or wrong way to fill out your bracket.
And the ones that I did know, they went far because they are the very few that I would purchase. Mm-hmm. So this, and we said this at the beginning, I think desk mats really is the one that's going to be
wild card.
Yeah, you're not going to know what's happening with it. It's going to be like
madness.
Yeah. I have dual shot going pretty far. I have DMG, I think, going all the way to the final 4 because I think people are going to love that aesthetic of the damage DMG desk mat. I have the 8008 versus Olivia ++ Light in the finals. I don't think that's going to happen. I think 8008 has a strong chance. I think light probably doesn't have as much of a chance as the dark. You know, the dark has that really pretty, oh, what's the name of it? It's tattoos. Do it all the time.
Wheel?
Sure. It looks like a pinwheel. Can't remember
Wagon wheel.
I can't remember the actual, like the technical term for it. I'm sure people in chat are saying it, but I can't see chat. Nope, I think they're just still saying exclamation point madness.
Hey, you know what? People love free stuff. I don't blame you.
I love free stuff.
I love free stuff.
Who doesn't like free?
Who doesn't like free stuff? So, we can, if you want to. So what did you decide to win?
What did I decide winning? I think I picked GMK 8008.
There you go.
That's a desk mat that I think will win because it's a set that I purchased. And yeah, I think it's good. I think the desk mat that I think will do well that I didn't necessarily put, I had losing to GMK Olivia Plus because of a name, was Dixie's floral mat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that has the potential to go all the way. But we'll see. There's some that I had no idea what they were. Marshmallow switch pattern. What?
I looked them up.
You looked them up. You tried.
I spent my entire lunch yesterday looking up desk mats.
Ooh, I was like, ooh, I like this set. This one had pretty colors. The mat's probably good too. No, I think I have some that are going really far that are very basic. I picked a lot of basic design desk mats. The Dixie Home Sweet Home I have all the way into the Elite 8.
It's a great desk mat. I build on it every time I build.
I have Bingsu stripes going very far into the top 16. Dracula goes all the way to the final four. Basically, my final four: DMG 8008, and then Dracula I versus Olivia Plus Light.
For those who don't know,
I need help.
You need help, and two, he does not like desk mats. He likes the gaming mouse pads. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm not worried about, I know as much as he would love a TGR Alice, you might luck your way right into one. Who knows? This is a toss-up. This is as close to, with keycap sets, okay, so we'll start all the way back, because we actually had this conversation the other day. Boards are probably the easiest to judge, in my opinion, because you either like it or you don't. You like the look of it or you don't. You look at a board and go, I would never buy that.
Yeah.
I would never buy that. There's no reason I would ever buy that. Or you go, I have to own this and I'm quitting the hobby if I can't.
Yeah.
So, there's very opinionated people on board design because there's a lot of room to wiggle with. Moving over to caps. Caps are for everyone. I know some people with 4Ds or ortho or all that jazz might be a little bit more difficult, but 40s or keycap sets go on a lot of boards. But then you start going, okay, well, what does this keycap set match this board? Does this do this? Does this do that? XYZ. So you have a lot of different. You have slightly less opinions because there are a lot more for everyone. You can go, I've got this white Satisfaction 75. Cool. 90% of sets are going to look
very true. Very true.
So, but when it comes to desk mats, you're just picking a design. So it's a complete toss up.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So you're just picking pretty colors and pretty designs. People work very hard on these designs. I think I own a lot of desk mats. I haven't bought one in a little bit, but I own a lot of desk mats, and I like a lot of desk mats. So let's take it on over. My bad for hitting you.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I'm not used to having someone this close all the way over here. Just for the thumbnail. So
clip it.
Clip that as fast as possible. So real quick, I have, Dixie Floral's really great. I think with desk mats, a lot of people, my favorite desk mat personally is Hexagon Dark.
Okay. Yeah.
I like very simple, repetitive.
For a set that you do not like at all.
I hate the set. I have to shout out 001 Anthony, who I was helping him move.
Okay.
And I saw the white, the hexagon light, the white and yellow one. And I was like, eh. And he goes, well, did you see the dark one? And I pulled out my phone and I was on drop and I was like, or mass drop. And, but drop, looked up and then I was like, oh, there is a gray one. And this looks so much better. Like, I'm getting this now. And I've been using it almost every single day since. So, but I like the repetitive, you know, the hexagons, the bento theme. I have that one going very, very far. I think that people like that kind of repetitive, but it's tame. That's the other thing. You don't want, some people don't like loud. But speaking of loud, so in my top 4, I've got GMK Metropolis. A lot of people really like those, clean lines. It goes with the theme. It makes a lot of sense. 8008, another great keycap set. GMK Bento Blue. That's that. You know, it's repetitive.
Yeah,
it's got that stuff, that good stuff. And not GMK, but Dixie Floral. It takes great pictures. It looks amazing. And I have Metropolis against Floral, with Floral winning. So it is, people like, who doesn't like flowers? It makes everything look peaceful. And it's just like, it just accents boards so well. So I think, I think that the Floral, you know, maybe it's bias, maybe it's not. I do think Metropolis desk mat's fantastic. But I think that the Floral desk mat by Dixie, after he made one change by changing the logo, his Dixie logo from red to pink, I think that was a great decision. That's not a shill. That's just a thing. Because I would big red Dixie logo, pink and white desk mat.
Oh yeah, it made it fit much better.
So, but you know, I almost don't use it that much because I'm afraid to like get anything on. That's why I like the hexagon dark, because I'm like.
It's like the Dixie Floral is like, it's your picture mat.
Yeah, you use it to take pictures. I use it personally to put keycap sets on boards when I'm done soldering.
Yeah. It's like time to get the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Let's get some fun pictures. You want Reddit karma? You've got Reddit karma.
I think with this, there's going to be, obviously key sets and keyboards are going to have a lot to do with pictures. Pictures for this one, more than anything else. Pictures are going to determine.
I mean, it's literally a picture. I think most of them are just overhead shot.
Yeah, top down, overhead, nothing crazy. And I think it's 1 picture, 2, is it out, and people have it on their desk.
Mm-hmm.
I think those 2 things are going to make things like Floral super strong. Yeah. Metropolis. That's one that
Metropolis was one that just they did such a good job. Netflix did such an amazing job matching, picking a theme, going with the theme, and running with it, and creating an entire, your desk becomes now kind of an art piece.
Oh yeah.
Floral doesn't have a key set with it. It just looks pretty. But I also think that's why Floral's going to, because they just made a good looking desk mat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but that will, I would love to give you upsets, matchups, and all of that, but there's
only one matchup of the week I want to talk about.
All right.
There's only one. So that one is going to be the very first matchup on the bracket, Dual Shot versus Night Runner Cityscape.
Oh, and that's a good one. Those are good.
Do we go, I think aesthetically pleasing as a desk mat, the Dual Shot will look better with a board on it, like in person, right? Because it's a lot more, it's not as busy. There's not as much going on. It doesn't have those loud colors. Whereas Night Runner Cityscape is a little bit louder. It's got a bright fluorescent yellow in it. But it's prettier in my opinion. It is colorful.
It's colorful. It's nice. It's tough.
Got the Batman vibes.
It does have the Batman vibe. I would pick that. I think a lot of there's some great desk mats. This is not to say that desk mats, that's just a very preference based thing. It's also a very keycap set based thing. So I think, that's why vote. This is one that I definitely kind of also voted. These are what my favorite are. I took less into account of like Metropolis is the only one that I think was like, I am 100% voting this because I know what it means to the community. And I know that set really, or that there were a lot of desk mats beforehand, but that one really to me was like, how do you make keycap sets and your desk cable, all that stuff really all in one?
Yeah. And I think, for me, with not being a desk mat guy, more or less, this is the one bracket that I may go and make some adjustments before the time runs out tomorrow. But I think Floral will do well. I think a dark horse that I might see is the Altar desk mat. It's a really pretty desk mat. And I like what you said about the bento, the salmon and the blue. I think those both have, you're wearing. Chewy is.
I'm a little bento-y right now. It's one of the sets I regret not getting in on the most. But
true.
The Legends.
Yeah, and I think so. We may go back and make some adjustments on the desk pads, the desk mats, because I have an Osa, which is an Alice style layout, and I love it. Wouldn't mind having a free Alice.
Who wouldn't want a free Alice? I don't know. I don't want to meet the person that doesn't want a free Alice. Anyway, that will kind of, for our brackets at least, that's base your decisions on what you think will win. That is our opinions. If you want to roll with us, you can. Don't.
Yeah.
Good luck to you as well. We'll be challenging against you. We're not excluded from the competition. I want to win a key cold. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I want to win a key cold. I want to win. I mean, hell, I want to win all three. I don't think there's a prize that I would not want if I was offered it. I mean, even if they're like, yeah, you got to pay $15. Okay. Every single one of them, I would pay for. Even the 9th and 10th place on all three of them, Zap cables.
Who doesn't like cables?
Cables, yeah.
You don't even need, if it's a Type C, plug it in your phone.
Yeah,
have a coiled cable
man.
next to your bed. So, I think it's time to give away.
Is it
GMK Modern Dolch? So I'm going to briefly run through though one more time. Mech Madness starting I believe March 1st. March 1st. March, who knows? It's Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
So be sure to check out Be sure to check out March Madness. No, be sure to check out Mech Madness on Instagram. You'll just follow Dixie Mech on Instagram. Be sure to get your votes in, start voting, start following. It's a month-long thing. We're going to be here. We've got some cool stuff that we will be doing in the next 5 to 6 weeks. So very excited. We have not, this is the first time we're announcing, all of the Dixie does sponsor a wide range of people. And we have a lot of those sponsors coming on to talk on our show. Tyson, Alexitos, I think I'm saying that name right. Alex Otos. Who knows? Alexitos. It just reminds me of Alexios. We've got Apiary coming on and some other cool people. So just be sure to check out our Wednesday streams as well.
Yeah, you forgot the big one.
Oh, I wanted to leave the big one for last.
Oh, okay.
You can by all means.
Oh,
the big one.
No.
We got the whale, Mr. Nathan Kim.
Yeah, the whale, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the beast, the legend. I know he's a Counter-Strike fan, so he knows what that is a allusion to. Coldzera, if you don't know who that is, then Coldzera is a very good Counter-Strike player.
He is.
But yes, Nathan and Kim, we'll have him on Teja Types, as well as if you like what you're seeing, you want to see more, join us on Discord, ! Discord in the chat, ! YouTube. Check out our VODs. We got tons of content on there. We like to have fun around here. So come hang out with us. We'll have a good time. But yeah, I think we've got some fun stuff. Maybe we can I want to see. I kind of want to see what chat thinks. What is your one matchup of the week?
Yes.
What is one of all of the 96 matchups that are happening from this Sunday through the following Saturday? What is the top one that you are most excited to see? Whether you want it to be a complete and utter domination, like Mortal Kombat level ripped out,
you try really hard, but then your buddy just grabs and smashes buttons and you get destroyed.
Yeah, sure. That one. What is that? What is going to be your favorite matchup? Let's see. I want to see what
Iron 165 versus Satisfaction 75. I believe that is going to be.
Yeah, that would be.
We're talking about week 1, but that is great. That's a tough decision. Very tough call. Serious versus TMO 50 for this week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we would agree with you. I think that might be my matchup of the entire week, or all three combined.
Magic Girl versus the World. Love it.
Magic Girl, is that Mint Laudica? Because that would be
Yinzer.
Oh no, it's not Mint Laudica. I would. She's all about DSA Magic Girl.
Well, I imagine it just shipped. So, but yeah, let us know. Let us know if you like this.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, right?
If you have any,
it's moving.
Yeah, it is moving. It's you know, I haven't worked with a green screen, but by the way, secret, it's not a giant TV.
Dude, how sick would that be if it was a giant TV though? If I had that in my apartment, that would be crazy. I don't have a living room right now, so
hit us up on Discord. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you could, any suggestions, anything else you would like to see. Like I said, we're going to be doing this for the Fridays to come. So be sure to check out Mech's on Deck, Mech Madness live show, Mech Madness 2020 live show every Friday until the event ends. Well, we will be announcing the winners.
Yep.
And Friday, 8 p.m. 9/8 Central.
9/8 Central.
9/8 Central.
Is that? I mean, in the little video thingy that we did, I said 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. Well, that's because hey, we got a big community in Texas. We're from Texas. Central
Doxed.
is the correct time zone.
Yes.
It is the master time zone. And then there's a lot of people in California. Hey, there's a lot of people on the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, let's give away a keycap set.
And the West Coast.
West Coast,
not direction. Let's give away a keycap set.
Let's give away a keycap set.
All right. So, last couple minutes to enter. ! Madness to be entered to win with 1D. No.
Did I say? Oh, you said 2D. This is before we talked about it. ! Madness. So, and just I want to say again, we've noticed the follows, the bits, the subs. I cannot thank you guys enough.
Really appreciate it.
It's we've been looking forward to this. We've been planning this, as you can see. This.
Yeah,
we didn't throw it up overnight, but it's been a lot of meetings and stuff like that to make sure this is all correct for you guys, and that's why we want to give back to you. But thank you for the fall; it means the world to us. So
definitely appreciate everyone coming by, and we definitely are looking forward to hopefully having you back every Friday, and maybe we stream Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well, same time. So come hang out with us. And see what we've got going on. See if you can pick up what we're putting down.
That's the cool kids.
Cool kids. We're not though. Play with keyboards.
When people ask me what I do, just tell them it's not what you.
It's hard to get excited and be excited with normal people, and then you start trying to justify your keyboard, and they're like, this at all. You're an idiot. And I'm like,
just stop.
But yeah. And then I'm just like, I'm just going to walk away now. I'm sad. So yes, ! Madness in the chat to be entered to win a free base kit, Modern Dolchlight, which ends tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's one of the best sets. One of the best sets that's going to be coming, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think there's a shadow of a doubt for that.
Yeah.
It was the best first day in like history.
First days. So let's get this ball rolling. We'll give it a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Who won it?
Who won? Your Chubby.
Your Chubby.
Can you give us a howdy?
Say something in the chat. Congratulations. You just got
accept
a base kit of GMK Modern Dolch Light. I see a hay.
I see it. This is a holy
mother. If you've already bought GMK Modern Dolch Light, you will get that base kit will be refunded to you. But congratulations on winning. Contact one of us on Discord or Dixie directly, because we will probably just be redirecting you to Dixie.
Yeah.
So, but can't thank you guys enough. We're very, very excited for the next few weeks. Be sure to check us out this upcoming week. Let us know. Join the Discord. Follow us on all the social medias. We'll be posting this video in a few days on our YouTube channel as well. And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me over to your domicile.
My domicile? It's not much of a domicile right now.
It's a studio.
This is a studio. I have a studio and a bedroom. But no, we really do appreciate everyone joining us tonight. We appreciate all the follows, all the subs, all the bits. Really helps us continue to do things like this, to get this level of craziness to happen. It does take a lot, so we appreciate the support. We want to continue to do this. We want to do stuff like this regularly. We want to do more and more, so that support helps. So yeah, we're really excited for the next couple of weeks, and don't forget to fill out your brackets, because the prizes that are there are insane. So definitely want to get in on that. You got about a day left to fill out your brackets, so get those in. With that being said, I think we're going to kind of sign off.
I'm going to sign off. Got a nice little, a lot of these graphics, by the way, were actually made by Dixie.
Yeah. Big shout outs to Dixie. Dixie, he made the graphics, the intro videos, found the songs. I just know how to use OBS.
There it is.
So,
but we're going to play the outro. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you very soon.
Buy a Switch tester?
Buy a Switch tester.
Hold up, I guess you didn't know that I'm a different breed. Yes, indeed, got the king, he and me, taking off high speed with the key. I can be anything I wanna be. I'm too hot for you, dog. You can call me Sneaky Pete, throwing shade at your boy. I'ma cut down your tree. Matter of fact, I'ma leave it just so I can get a breeze. This too easy. I got Christ, and I know that he got me undefeated in the game. Yeah, we on the winning spree, knocking on our adversary toe to toe like I'm my league. 'Cause I'm a youngin' and I'm